Welcome to episode 2646 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. Today, Scott joins me and we have a live call-in show because we had a last-minute cancellation. So we talk about some of the news of the week, including the virtual queues going away at Cosmic Rewind over at Epcot and Tiana's at the Magic Kingdom, a possible Disney Quest 2.0 coming to Disney Springs here soon. We're excited about that possibility. Princess Weekend is upon us, and Wade calls in from Nebraska, where it was super cold, but we talk about how Disney vacations are awesome ticket prices affecting his choices and how he's going to vacation here in the future and his thoughts on all these changes coming up. So we have a fun conversation in the next hour on a bunch of Disney topics. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air. We could not do this without you. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Wednesday night, February 19th, 2025. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. I know, right? It's a Wednesday night and it's a Monday on the feed. It's all kinds of confusing because usually it's a Sunday and a Thursday and now it's a Wednesday and a Monday. We just roll with it here. We had a cancellation on Wednesday night. So I said, Scott, let's do a live call-in show. Let's talk about all the announcements. It's cold here in the Midwest. Hopefully it's warm by the time this hits your feed. And we just want to talk some Disney for an hour with our callers at 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. We'll have the phone lines open here in about 5 minutes. But Scotty G joining us from up in East Lansing, Michigan. What's up, Scott? Happy Wednesday.
Big Sparty win last night against those Boilermakers. But holy cow, that's so weird because open line Wednesday on a Monday show where I didn't work on Monday because of the holiday, so I'm really confused at what day it is. Is it Sunday? Is it Wednesday? I don't know.
And my wife hasn't worked all week at this point when we're recording because of the snow days, 2 snow days, and possibly one for wind chill tomorrow.
I think I have to make some up.
If you get past the point, you don't have to make them up, right? They're called just like natural disaster days.
Okay.
So I don't care at this point because I don't teach, but. Yeah, they don't make them up once you get past a certain amount. So I think they've hit that threshold. So they don't.
See, Emily doesn't care this year because she's a senior. So like seniors like finish school like 2 weeks early or whatever. So she's like, we can have all the snow days we want. I don't have to make any of them up.
Yeah, because seniors graduate early. Yeah,
they graduate like a couple weeks before finals even happen. So yep. she's done with finals. She never has to do another high school final again. So
even like at Mallory School, I mean, just real quick, we'll be talking Disney here, but like if you get good grades, like she doesn't even do finals either, right? Like as long as you like maintain like a 95 or higher, like you can just decide you don't want to take a final. Dude, I stressed every final.
We don't do that at our school. That's weird.
When I was in high school, dude, it didn't matter. Like, I mean, I got good grades and everything, but I mean, I stressed every final of every class. Like, I mean, it didn't matter if you had 100% average. I still went in, like it was the bottom of the 9th and, bases loaded, I had to still have that at bat. You could get that easy out.
Yeah, no, that's how it is in our school.
School's soft.
Everyone's taking fun. You are not exempt. You could be like on track to be the valedictorian like Emily is and still have to take all the finals.
Dude. Yeah. School. Come on now. You gotta put, it's gotta be the pressure cooker. Gotta make them work. Anyway, we're talking Disney here tonight. And so, a couple of announcements have come in this week. Just today on Wednesday, we got the announcement. First, we saw the rumor, and the rumor didn't last long, as a lot of things happen, that there was something possibly going into space at Disney Springs where the NBA experience was. Thank goodness, that's a huge space, and it's been sitting there vacant for quite a while. And it looks to be kind of it's called Level 99, and it's a third-party company that brings in, I think, kind of like virtual realities. I have it here. Let me pull it up on my phone, from Scott Gustin and a couple other places that put this out. but it looks to be kind of like an immersive virtual reality experience. So Scott, when you saw that, what was your first impression?
I haven't really seen this today. I had a really busy
it?
work day, but so it sounds like a virtual reality kind of arcade, maybe kind of.
Well, here
Or
it's
does it have-
let me see, I'll read it to you. It says it's going to be their largest location to date. It's confirmed the venue is going to feature over 60 challenge rooms, duels, an interactive art hunt, and a full service restaurant and bar. The
challenge rooms, is that going to be like escape rooms?
That's what
almost,
I'm
I
guessing.
wonder?
Yeah, it sounds like escape rooms, but
Which that could be a
like
lot of fun.
I
honestly.
agree. Well, and when I saw this, like when I heard the rumor and they didn't, in the picture shows, like a lot of people, it kind of looks like the kind of graphics kind of show like it looks like an escape room, which I've done a few times. And those things are fun.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
but,
Could you imagine? Like, I don't know if they'll have the rights to this, but I think like a Disney themed escape room or something. You know, like
the way
I mean, they could get really crazy with it. Like you have to escape the Magic Kingdom. That seems a little dark, but you know what I mean. But it'd be kind of cool if they could like tie some Disneyness to it.
we could theme them not even to the Magic Kingdom, but theme them to like individual
like a Marvel
attractions
one or something.
or attractions. You know what I'm saying? Like a Jungle Cruise escape room,
Oh,
a Pirates
yes.
escape room, or like a Small World with dolls. I mean, I don't know how dark you want to get on that though.
I mean, it can get kind of dark with some of that stuff, but that could be fun, right?
Yeah,
Or like there's a Star Wars one where you have to escape the Death Star or something. I mean, I don't even know. Like they could, I mean, imagination is wide open with that. That could be a lot of fun.
when I saw the rumor, the first thing I thought of was just it's good news, period, because we have that gigantic space sitting empty. Like, I mean, you put something in that space down there at the end there, you got the M&M store, you got City Works. It's a good, got Lanuba down there. It's a really happening spot. But if you put something prime, because back in the day, that's where Disney Quest was, and it's underutilized right now. So something that's even average to just a little bit above average is going to add so much to West Side there.
Absolutely. I'm still bummed. I know it wasn't very popular. Obviously, it had a short lifespan, but I really did want to do the NBA experience once, and I'm bummed that I never got that opportunity. But it's good that you're saying, like, it's just been a wasted space, right? Like, let's just put something in there.
Yeah.
And
I wonder.
and another restaurant.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be more like a barish, kind of like a. Well, I'll tell you, Splitsville has a pretty dang good menu for being a bar too. So excited to see what that's going to come.
Yeah.
Was there a timeline on it at all?
No.
You know, Mike?
I wish. I didn't see one.
It's probably like a 2026 thing, I bet. But
20. Oh, dude. Hopefully. I mean, it could be longer than that.
I guess it could be.
I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's a pretty big space.
So one other thing I want to ask you about too was something we heard about a few days back, and this is something that's going to be a little bit more challenging for a lot of us to experience. Is that the Disney Adventure, the new cruise ship that's going to be based out of Singapore, is going to get some Duffy themed experiences like a restaurant, a retail store, some shows. Now, I wanted to bring this up when I talked with Scott because Scott, you are your family Duffy fan.
We love Duffy.
Duffy the bear.
We love Duffy the Disney bear. And while we can get a taste of Duffy like characters in Alani, which is nice, and you still got to travel a long ways for that. I mean, this cruise ship was never really on my radar because it's just gonna be hard to get to, right, for us, in America. But man, when I saw that, I was just like, I don't know, like how can I make that happen, Mike? Because like, what was it called, like the Friendship store or whatever, and like all this like Duffy themed, and I mean the ship just I mean we know it's a massive cruise ship, and it just looks so cool, and this is where it kind of gets me the most, Mike, as like completist. We always say like, man, it's hard to be a completist when it comes to like Disney stuff, like Vinylmations back in the day. Like if you wanted to collect all those or collect like pins and all that, but to like be able to sail every Disney cruise ship would be awesome. But this is one that I've always been like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to make that happen. But now they're theming it with Duffy, and that's kind of getting me a little bit. You know what I mean?
I know. I like that they're doing, I like that they give different experiences. We've said that, like West Coast, East Coast, Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Galaxy's Edge being a clone is a negative because, again, still never gone in there in Disneyland other than to run through in the races because there's no need. I go there so much at World. And the thing about that ship, the Adventure, is that thing is such an outlier. I mean, it's a one of one, and they're even making it more so with this Duffy experience, but they know their market, right? The Duffy is huge over in that part of the world. And they tried it over here in the States. You bought into it, but I mean, the American market pretty much passed. I mean, they showed some market research and it was not a hit here in the States.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. But yeah, if you watch any videos or like social media, I mean, people like always take their Duffy to the parks.
Mm-hmm.
Like Duffy has like a high chair at dinner time and all. I mean, like the Duffys go everywhere. And now they expanded that universe with all these other characters like Shelly May and all of them. It's cool. But there was more to that ship than just like the Duffy. I mean, there's like cool like Marvel stuff on that ship too. It looks cool, but like you said, Mike, it does seem like a one of one. Like the Dream and the Fantasy, even like the different class ships, like the Magic versus the Dream, like they're different but similar. Like this one just seems like it's on its own island almost.
Yeah, it's as close as they're gonna. To me, it's like it's as close as Disney Cruise Line's getting to like an Icon of the Seas, like a Royal Caribbean ship.
Mhm.
It looks very much like if like the Disney Fantasy and like a Royal Caribbean ship had a baby. That's what
Right.
Adventure
Were
would
they
be.
going to put a casino on this one, or have they not
I
announced
don't think
that?
so.
Or not?
I don't know. I don't think there's a casino on it, but
Yeah, because that'd be so off-brand for them to do. But
yeah.
I mean, there's space for it for sure.
Well, I think
but,
that it originally had a casino because remember this
Mhm.
was another line. Well, it was. I think I shouldn't say that because it wasn't finished. I think
But it
they
was
had
kind
a
of like
space-
laid out. For
Yeah, I
one
think there was a
way,
space
yeah.
that was going to be a casino, and I think they rethemed it to something else. I don't think it's going to have a casino because of the Disney Cruise
That'd be
Line
good.
brand, but I think they used it for something else. The other thing I want to talk about, then we'll open up the phone lines, take calls for the hour, and big basketball game here in Central Missouri tonight, Mizzou, Alabama. So we do have a heart out at the end of the hour, but. Virtual queues finally going away at the Magic Kingdom this week as well for Tiana's and Guardians of the Galaxy over at Epcot. So this has been a way of life. I mean, especially Guardians of the Galaxy over at Epcot. We've been doing this since 2022 when the came online. I think I saw somebody post it'll be 1,005 days that you had to use virtual queues when this goes away on February 25th. So I don't know like where you fall on this because some people become really good at like using virtual queues to their advantage. Some people like the idea that standby gives you more control. You don't have to get up at 7 a.m. There's a lot of opinions out there. So I don't know. Where do you fall on, being able to stand by Tiana's at MK or, over at with Guardians at Epcot?
Yeah. So I kind of fall in the middle, obviously, right? Like I just can't come up with a decision, but because I mean the virtual queues are kind of frustrating for me because I mean they were great when you got one, like oh yeah, like I'm gonna have this certain time I can go, especially Guardians because we all kind of learned after a while like you could be late and still kind of do the ride, like they were pretty lenient about that, so that created some flexibility that Disney really didn't want to promote, but we knew it was there. And that yet though it was frustrating was when you didn't get one, you're like, well, I want to do the ride, like I'm paying for a theme park ticket and why can't I just do the ride? That always frustrated me. But now that's great. We'll have that option to do it. But what's going to be the sacrifice, Mike? Right? What are those queues going to look like? And I'm so curious to watch this more so for Guardians than versus Tiana's because I mean, still fairly new, but I mean that holds a lot. I think it handles people a lot better than Guardians does, and like Splash Mountain. I mean, we saw how that operated as a standby, so we know how that works. But Guardians, we've never once have seen it, and that queue can be massive. Like I mean, we've walked through it, right? We know how long that thing can get, and you normally don't see it that long unless if it was like down for periods of time during the day and it has a backup. So, what do you think is going to be like opening day? Like, what's going to be the peak? Is it going to be like 180 minutes? You think 3 hours?
Well, it's the whole thing. Like, where do people balk, right? Where do they say that's too much? And I mean, it's kind of like nature heals, right? Nature decides, like people just, the line won't get excessively long because people walk away and do something else. You're just going to eventually say, I'm not going to stand there that long. So I think I would say 180 probably maximum 3 hours.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Ish. Yeah. I mean, because I've seen like, the longest line I've ever seen at Walt Disney World was 240 for Soarin' on New Year's Eve, like 10 years ago. And that was insane. That was insanity that somebody would wait 4 hours to ride Soarin'. Or what, 240? Is that 612? Yeah, 4 hours. So it's insanity, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I guess, there was that many people in Epcot that day and Soarin' was one of the headliners at that point.
I just don't know. I mean, what's this going to change the strategy of the day too? Like, will that free up more attractions potentially if people are going to be rope dropping and going straight to Guardians? Is that going to make Soarin' not as tough early in the morning, or maybe a Frozen Ever After or Remy Ratatouille will see less of a line. Like I'm curious how this will impact the entire park from a standby line perspective. It's going to be interesting to watch. But all in all, I think I'm happy with it. Is kind of like it took me a long time to get to the question, the answer to the question, but I think it's good for everybody for the most part because now you don't have that competitive advantage of like I worked a hack to get a good boarding queue, or I set my alarms at 7 and did this. Now everyone had just kind of have that opportunity to do the ride as long as they're a paying guest to Epcot, which I think is important.
Right. And William, who just relocated down to Florida from up in the Pacific Northwest, said he waited 5 hours for Indiana Jones in the summer of 1995. So people will wait for something. And the thing is,
that's kind of great. That's a great story. I love that.
I mean, that's a long queue too. Holy smokes. Like just the physical queue, but it does give power to, if you're willing to wait, you can ride it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like a lottery, you know, like if you're willing to wait it out, you're going to get on the attraction. Now you are sacrificing like 5 hours. The theme park day at most is 15 hours. So you're giving at least 33% of your day to that one attraction. I mean, maximum, you know, your 15-hour day. So it's a sacrifice, right? And it's going to eat people away. Like the conversation is in the chat, like it's going to eat people away from the other attractions, which is advantageous. Like for somebody like me that doesn't ride Guardians, if that sucker is people are waiting 5 hours, that's huge for me. Because there's so many people over there. Yeah. Then hopefully Soarin's lower, living with the land. There's nobody there. You know, it's like, that's great for me. It is going to change the dynamic. Maybe Remy's not as because, you know, it's another e-ticket that's
I'm thinking
opposite
Remy
on the
or
park.
like Frozen Ever After might help that too. But
it'll be, you know, it's a cool experiment. And, you know, I think the two, you know, it's like, you know, the curve, right? It'll spike at first and then everything will kind of cool off after a couple months, I think. Yeah. I mean, the attraction's been around so
William's
long.
point, that side of the park is going to be hurting a little bit because Test Track is going on a refurbishment right now too. So it's good. There's going to be some long lines this summer at Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think Test Track comes back this summer, right?
Does it come back this summer?
I think it was summer of 20. Maybe it's 26. I thought it was 25 though. I got to look.
That'd be great.
I know it's a summer.
I'm excited to see that update in other news like that. Because remember, supposed to tie like to like a tribute to World of Motion, maybe a little bit in there too. Like that's fascinating to me to see what they do with that Test Track.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So bottom line with the virtual queues going away is that I just think it gives the regular person who doesn't even understand what a virtual queue is.
Yes,
everybody knows how to stand in line, and they know if you get there early and get there, you know, straight to the attraction, you're probably going to get on the first hour. Simple. It takes it back to the old days.
So yes, it does help to plan and prepare. But as someone that we were all a first timer at one point, and I know I was really lost that first trip, and I didn't really even know how to use FastPass. So shame on me for not planning better for a first trip. But I feel for those people, right? I think I always advocate, like I want everyone to have the best Walt Disney World experience because I love it. I mean, it's like my home. You know what I mean? So I just want everyone to have a great experience there, and it's just breaks my heart a little bit when people don't understand how to use these lightning lanes and virtual queues. So now this levels the playing field a little bit more, which I think is a good thing.
Yep. And Jason says it'll be interesting to see that versus Flight of Passage. The opportunity cost of Guardians is not drinking around the world, which is big to some. Flight of Passage is the safari. And I like that idea of opportunity cost because you have X amount of minutes in your day. How are you going to spend them? You know, you're going to spend them, you know, standing in line for 3 hours for Guardians. You're going to spend them walking around Epcot drinking. The World Showcase, you know, again, Flight of Passage. You're going to wait 3 hours to do that. Safari, it's opportunity cost. It's how you have a certain amount of buckets. You're a certain amount of minutes, what bucket you're going to put them in throughout the day. It is. But I mean, it's always been that way. But I mean, it kind of, virtual queues, once you had it, you were going to get on things a little bit quicker. But
I look forward to seeing like on social media, like who's going to have the record, who's going to get all 6 songs in one day. There's going to be so many challenges like that. Like, this keeps popping up on my feed. I don't know why, but have you seen this guy that like rides like Radiator Springs like all the time? He's got like over 10,000 rides.
No.
And like, oh my God, like I'll have to send it to you the next time I see it. It's wild. And I just think of like, I feel like that's going to happen with Guardians of the Galaxy. You're going to have like, it's probably already happening, but now you'll see it more with the standby being open, but like just people trying to go for a crazy amount of rides on that. Cause it is awesome. I love that attraction.
I do love
But you
that
haven't seen that dude from DCA?
No, I got to check that out. You have sent it to me. All right. So 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. We'd love to hear your comments on, this level 99, the virtual queue conversation. Get in on the conversation here. That's why we have an open line this evening. We did have a
Mike,
question.
have you done Tiana's Bayou Adventure yet?
I've not, because it's been cold every time I've been
because it's been cold
there.
when you've gone.
I'm
right?
not getting wet. I'm at that point in my life where I'll do it in the summer. I'm not getting wet. Like I do not like being in a theme park with like wet shoes, wet socks. Like
Are you
getting
getting tickets for the
miserable.
family this summer, or have you not?
No,
made
we
that
are not.
decision yet?
We are not.
Oh, dang.
We're going
Like,
down.
we should just ride it. We should have one of those old school ramen gardener
I
days,
know.
man, where we're in the parks, and
We were talking about that tonight at dinner. We're going down on the 5th and we're coming back after the cruise on the 11th. So, because it looks like it's just going to be Pam and I. Because Mallory has cheer camp and Paige has basketball camp. So,
you can hang out with the gardeners.
I know. So we're already we're deciding we all need to do Palo together and dinner and brunch. We're planning our cruise together tonight at dinner. So we're so ready to go. You excited for the Magic? I've started watching videos for the Magic.
I'm so psyched for the Magic. You have no idea. Because I will say the Dream is my favorite ship, probably because I've been on it like 5 or 6 times. But I've always wanted to try the classics. I mean, you've talked about the Wonder and the Magic. Jody was just on the Wonder. Our friends Jared and Stacey are going. I mean, I'm just so excited about these classic ships, and the floor plan. We were talking about this has me fascinated. Like, man, like deck 9. How is deck 9 like the Cabanas deck? Like that makes no sense to me. So I was like, is there going to be that many less people? Is Castaway going to feel less crowded? I just have all these like thoughts running through my head.
What have you seen? Like what Palo looks like on the Magic?
I have no idea. Like I'm gonna do some. I gotta watch some videos. I'm going to for sure.
It's amazing because it's totally. It's like on the back of the ship and it's wide open. I mean, it is. Palo on the Wonder and the Magic are the best. It's unreal. Yeah. So I'm super stoked. I mean, there's a lot of, and the ship flows like really well. I can't wait to get on that ship. I'm starting to get, I think it's this cold weather. There's like long streak of cold weather. I mean, any cruise ship, right? But again, this is going to be a very new experience because I haven't been on a classic ship since Mallory was like 7. So it's been like 10 years.
And as a Disney completist, like I was saying earlier, I can't believe it's taken me this long, but it's just the itineraries for us, right? It's kind of always just been the dream and fantasy. Have kind of been like the itineraries that work for us. So just super excited to finally have that opportunity. Like I wonder how it's going to feel, but because I think like, oh man, is it going to be like really old, right? It's been in the fleet for a long time, but we had that caller from a couple months ago, Mike, that said if they wouldn't have known, they would have thought the Magic was like a brand new ship, which got me super excited.
Yeah, and I watched a video last night from a month ago, and they were all over the ship, and I mean, it just looked sparkling. I mean, and I know I've had guests sail it recently, and they get back and they say the same thing. Disney Cruise Line has taken great care of their ships, and the Tangled restaurant, that experience, the classic Animators Palette experience. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna be so fun.
That is actually something I'm looking forward to most because I watched so many videos on the Dream or like Disney Cruise Line before our first cruise on the Dream, and I must have been watching like the Magic videos because or got my crosses reference mixed up because I thought the Animators Palette on the Dream did like that, like it would change the coloring like during the whole meal and if I've always been confused why it hasn't, and I was like, oh, that effect just might not work anymore, but it's actually the Magic like where that happens. So
it's fun. And like I think Sorcerer Mickey comes out at some point. I
think I'm gonna get like a cool like white colored shirt to wear to that dinner or something. So maybe like my shirt color can change or where like it has a pattern where Mickey like you might be able to fill in the colors. Like I don't know. I feel like I've seen something like this before, so I'm working on my wardrobe ideas.
There you go. Yeah, you see, we're already getting there. Yes, and oh look at that. And Melissa or Mel is tuned in down in Australia. Scott, as we're broadcasting, she's over on Instagram.
Awesome.
And she says, rumor is the Magic might be coming to Australia, so she's got her fingers crossed.
That'd be sweet.
I mean, they're gonna have more ships. That'd be great if it goes down there. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I mean, I love the flexibility Disney Cruise Line has now to deploy these ships different places. Like we were talking, the Fantasy used to be locked into that Eastern Western 7-night run to the Caribbean. And now it's doing, Bahamian runs that are 5 nights, sometimes 4 nights. It's going to be going over to Europe. You got the Treasure taking over that 7 night Eastern Western, and people are loving the Treasure. I got to go on it for a little bit, and it's amazing. I mean, that is the ship made for theme park fans. It's just such a variety. Like the Adventure. I mean, that's a one of one. That's just an outlier because they bought that ship almost completely finished and just retrofitted it. But I do like Disney Cruise Line, and I had this conversation with somebody the other day. I can't remember. I don't think it was on the podcast, but people were kind of complaining about like World, and I don't agree with this, but they were saying like World's kind of losing their way with like customer service and guest relations and like listening to the guest. But they say the Disney Cruise Line has never lost that. Like they're really about reaching out and taking care of the guest and making sure that they take care of the details. Like they're still like the Disney difference is so strong with, everything is immaculate on the ships and the guest experience 100% over the top. Where sometimes you go to, World and it's not there. And I don't agree with this, but some people say, like it's gone down a little bit. But I mean, I do agree that Cruise Line, you get that every time. Like I feel
that was something my father-in-law
100%.
called out as a frequent like Royal Caribbean. And they're good,
Oh yeah, they're really, I like Royal Caribbean.
But he just loves, so he's like a germaphobe kind of, and he just loves how like Disney is just like, anytime you walk into like a restaurant, whatever, they're handing you the wipe, like, which we did not see on our Royal Caribbean cruise. So I don't know if that's true for all of them, but you're just like always seeing like a crew cleaning something, even like the smallest thing, you just see him like touching it. He was just like fascinated by like how well they keep that ship up, and it's true for all the whole fleet is just like that. It's just unbelievable.
So 407-413-9395. Apparently the phone lines are frozen all around the country and all around the world.
That's all right. We got things to talk about.
We do. So what do you want to bring to the table? I brought a few things. Anything in you're thinking about? You got stuff?
So I'm just thinking about I was kind of thinking about the summer parks, I'm thinking about our trips and I really want to go to Disneyland for the 70th anniversary. Like I am like pretty psyched about, Paint the Night coming back, and there's going to be, I think there's like a fireworks show that's returning or like a new one. Yeah. Like it just looks, it's so great. And like, wow, Run Disney race weekends are fun, right? Like I haven't been to Disneyland for like a real nice family vacation since the time like you and I went for your first time, and like there's something about that that's so nice where you don't have to worry about waking up to run in the morning, and then you can just walk into Disneyland, hop over the DCA, and now don't have to worry about going to bed early because you got to wake up for a race. Like I want that feeling again. I'm wanting it, Mike. So like I got that itch to book a Disneyland trip sometime soon.
Yeah, I want to get out there for the 70th. Absolutely. William says he's going out for the 70th. He's in our chat over on Facebook. And because I'm really, really curious about the Walt Disney like animatronic that's going to go in the Opera House. Yes. It's going to like alternate with the Lincoln show. That I think that's going to be super cool. I mean, it's going to be weird, but I mean, like Walt's going to be there speaking to us,
talking to you, right? And well, you always feel like that's how you feel about John and Carousel Progress,
right? But I mean, this is Walt. I mean, in the robotic, it's going to be so cool. Yeah. But I've never seen Paint the Night. Like you've seen it, and I love nighttime parades. I love Spectrum Magic. I love Main Street Electrical Parade. We got to see that when we were out there in 22. And I mean, I just remember like watching Main Street Electrical Parade with an ice cream cone from Gibson Girl on the curb of the original Main Street. I was just like, God, this is perfect. It's perfect.
It doesn't get on a summer, a nice, and it wasn't even like a hot summer night. It was a comfortable summer night. That week we were there, it was gorgeous weather.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about these big things that are coming up, right? Like the 70th is huge. I was there for the 60th. I see Williams like I was there for the 30th, 40th, 50th. Like I love that. We were there for the 60th. We saw it like in the very beginning and we caught the end of it. It was kind of funny. Like we saw it twice in like an 18-month period. Kind of wild.
All right. We're heading to Big Ten country, Scotty G, Nebraska. Wade's on the line. What's up, Wade? Long time no talk. How you been, brother?
I know it's been a while. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. Let me turn you up.
Yeah, you saved us.
Give you a little gas here.
Well,
there you go.
Tell you what, I'm on as Scott, as you know, my walk to the gym.
Yes.
It's a mile walk, and it's a balmy 2 degrees right now.
Oh my gosh.
My sound, I think the wind chill's like -11. So I'm good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day in the Midwest. And Jason, who's down in Florida, this is life where we all are. There you go.
That's right. That's where we're hardy folks up here in the Midwest, right? Oh man, yeah, no, I've just been enjoying the conversation here. I thought, well, I'll try and call in here as long as I can talk, as long as I can move my face and still, make words.
Uh,
Oh, you gotta love it, winter, right? But
yes.
some good news. Daylight savings time ends here in like 2.5 weeks.
Oh,
Thank
you.
goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got more sunlight coming, and it's you guys are talking about a lot of interesting topics. Of course, cruising while I'm walking in the snow crunching under my feet, and it's 2 degrees.
Yeah.
But what's that?
No, I hear that's why I've been watching cruise videos just to survive the month of February.
That's what we do. It's gonna be over soon.
Yes.
That's for sure. But it's interesting. A lot of the talk here about virtual queues ending and different things happening, and also the article about the cost of the Disney vacation, right? And I still go back to I don't have an annual pass. Scott, I don't know if you have one right now.
I do not right now.
Yeah, Mike, I know you just renewed yours, I think.
I did.
In January. And so I started, I got peer pressure into signing up for Wine and Dine. Thanks, Scott, Jody,
Sorry.
Tim, others. So I started looking at, the cost of tickets and annual passes again. And they're not cheap, right?
No.
And I started thinking, what can they do? We all love Disney. We all love it, and we want to go, and we want to be there. And, will I buy an annual pass? I don't know. Will I buy a 4 or 5 day ticket? I don't know. But I still go back to, and we've talked about this a lot, open the parks longer, be open later, spread the crowds out, make it so people don't have to stand in line for 4 hours at Tiana's or Guardians. I have friends that stood in line for 4 hours for Flight of Passage. And that's a long time when you're paying over $100 a day, right?
Yes.
And so I still think, Disney, please help us out with some of these things.
Do you think
And
that's
I can't get away from thinking of that,
Do you think too, not to cut you off, but with that's a great point,
Yeah.
because do you think too they're incentivized because some of those attractions are like individual lightning lane attractions where there's no incentive for them to like it's a financial gain for them because buy an individual lightning lane. Where I'm really kind of staunchly against buying individual lightning lanes. I've only bought one in my life, and it was for Radiator Springs Racers one time because I love that attraction. But still, I know people buy them, and I understand like the convenience factor, and like maybe I'm just gonna be a one and done. But when you pay over $100 a day to get in a theme park, it hits me to pay $18 to ride an attraction one time when you've already paid over triple digits to get in the park.
Agree 100%. And I've bought a couple lightning lanes. I think I did Tron and Guardians and Mission Breakout, Cosmic Rewind. And so I think those are the only two that I've purchased. And yeah, I and you start buying it for 2 or 3 people, right? Now you're in the $40, $60, $80, so that you can get on an attraction that you got shut out of the virtual queue. Now, granted, you can say, I can stand in line. Well, who wants to stand in line? I don't want to stand in line more than 30 minutes. It could be, I have peripheral neuropathy in my feet. Sometimes standing in line can be a challenge, but that's okay. I do it, I run and all that, but I don't want to stand in line just because I'd rather do something else. So I think you're right though, Mike, that it probably from Disney's side, they go, hey, buy a lightning lane, $18, $20, $22, depending on the time of year. I guess I'm a Disney stockholder, so on that side of the things, I go, great, they need to make money, and that's good for shareholders. But it's always good for a family vacation, like Scott said. We love Disney,
Mm-hmm.
and we want our friends, family members, people we know to have a good time when they go. I hate when people come back and say, I'll never do that again. It was hot. We stood in line. My kids were crying. All those things that we've heard. And so, how do we make it the best, or how do they make it the best experience that anybody can get? Because you are going to pay a lot. I looked for Shelly and I to buy 4 or 5 day tickets, park hopper, almost $1,400. And I went, oh, wow, that's a lot of money, for 4 or 5 days. On top of, we're DVCs, we're able to use points and do that. But, you're going to spend money on food. You're going to spend money on drinks. You're going to do all that. Maybe
You
something
got to
extra.
fly there too.
A lot of money.
You know.
Yeah. Oh, I looked today. It's $900 for the two of us to fly in October. I'm not going to buy the ticket yet. I'm going to kind of wait and see what happens. Maybe I'll use points. But you know, $900 for two people, just two of us to fly to Wine and Dine, not to October. So we've got time. But you know, it is a lot. And I go back to those times we all have said that. Now, remember when we were riding Splash Mountain at 2:30 in the morning because the park was open till 3? That was great. Spread it out. You could help Disney by doing some of those things. You got college kids that will stay up late and keep the park open. But what else can they do? Because we love it, we want to continue to go. Mike, you make a living booking trips for people to go have a wonderful time at Disney. What can happen to make it people to continue to enjoy it and go? Because we all love it. There's no doubt about that. And I'm not trying to certainly rip on Disney. I'm just like, please help us make it as enjoyable as it always is.
Those extended magic hours, man. That's that's huge.
Yeah, 30 minutes in the morning's fine. Okay, fine. It's fine. But, those extended magic hours? Yeah, you're right, Scott. Fantastic. Do it again, Disney. Come on, you can do it.
When you think about
and the payoff would be huge.
When you think about 30 minutes in the morning, you're thinking one attraction, basically, right? Because by the time you queue up, get on the attraction, get off the attraction, maybe two. I mean, because shorter lines, probably fancy line, maybe two. But like when you had 3 hours, like at night, I mean, that was truly magical, right? Because you had time to go around and really goof off. And I mean, it felt like 3 hours, those evening hours in the summertime, like midnight to 3 a.m. I mean, it felt like 6 hours. Like it never felt like the clock was running. You just felt like just royalty. It was, like you said, it was like some of the best memories I've ever had in a Disney theme park. And
for sure,
it's hard to put a price tag on that because you made the best memories. You came home and said you had the best time. It was wild. It was really good.
Is it because they want people to be at Disney Springs at night too? I wonder who's spending money there. I don't know. But Disney Springs doesn't stay open that late anymore either, right? Isn't it like midnight? I think
it's like
usually
2, maybe. Maybe it is midnight. I don't stay up that late.
We're getting to a certain age. We're like, I don't know. I'm not there at midnight.
But I'm not there.
So. Me neither.
But I'd be in a theme park, because I not every night. You can't do it every night, right? Unless you're gonna go with the Ricky hours and show up at 11 or 12, right, in the morning. You don't want to blow every day of your vacation. But for those times that you could do it, it's fantastic. I know there's other things that Disney took away and made it more expensive. Magical Express being one that it was a great service. Got it. Free Magic Bands, great. How long are Magic Bands going to last with everybody having everything on their Magic Mobile on their phone now? Who knows? They don't sell the old Magic Bands anymore. Magic Band 2.0. Now it's Magic Band Plus, and they're not cheap. So the alternative is you have a card, kind of like back to where we were. But I just hope that Disney can continue. They're obviously talking about it. They can look at this. They're smart people. They know what to do, and I hope they do make some changes.
Well, I mean,
it's just something interesting I want to bring up. I don't think we talked about it. Wade, I'd love to know your opinion on this too. So, how they're doing the free water park day on your first day, right? If you book on site or whatever. We were reading on our Discord, and I kind of saw this when I was down there for the cruise, like, because I drove past Blizzard Beach. Like, they were sending parking over to Coronado Springs because there was that many cars parked to go to Blizzard Beach. Like, isn't that wild? Like, it sounds like it's working. Mike, I don't know if you're getting any feedback from guests or anything, but like, sounds like this has been a good perk, and maybe that's helping maybe some of the theme parks be a little less busy on other people's first day. Like, I mean, I don't know what impact it's having on the parks, but clearly people are going to the water park, which is kind of fun.
It's great. I saw it show up in my Disney experience because I loaded our DVC stay for October in there. And so I saw it, said, hey, enjoy, water park on the first day of your visit.
But hey, we're not buying theme park tickets. At least we got something to do. Maybe like do a split stay every day, right? And like, hey, I'm getting a free water park every day. At least.
That's true. That's true.
But I thought it was wild though that they were sending parking over to Coronado. Like, that's how many people are like using this. So that's awesome.
I think it's great. You know what? It's a nice perk. Hopefully it's doing what they wanted, which is get people at the water parks, maybe even people going thinking, hey, we should come back again for a full day, later in our trip or on our next trip. Because I'm sure, well, I know people go to Disney. I know a lot of people that said, oh yeah, we didn't ever go to the water parks. Yeah, we never went. And, we've had a blast. I mean, I still go back to the Moonlight Magic that we went to, Scott, and,
That was so much fun.
Just looping. I forget the track.
You, me, Emily, and Huey just like constantly going on Crush and Gusher.
Crush and Gusher. Yeah, exactly. People don't experience that. Some people, I get water parks aren't their thing. But no, it's a great way to introduce people to that, to get them wanting to go. And it's a nice perk. That is a really nice thing that Disney did if you stay at a Disney hotel, because there's another conversation. Is staying on site still worth it? Because it's not cheap. What about staying off site? Disneyland, Mike, you just stayed off site at Disneyland. It's a lot easier to do there.
Yeah.
You just walk across the street. You stayed at the Hojo, which I love. That's one of the first hotels I remember staying at as a kid back in the 70s. But you can do that there. But I think, having perks for on-site guests is key also, to give that value to staying there. Because, again, hotels are not inexpensive. Even the value resorts, you can pay a couple $100 plus a night, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
So, So anyway, I hope that they're continuing looking at that, because, like I said, I had a little sticker shock the other day when I went $1,400 for 5-day park hopper tickets. Wait a minute. Do I buy annual passes again? Do I not? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I haven't made that decision yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the 3-day DVC one, and I'm just hearing your story right here. Already has me shaking in my boots thinking about it. So
I know, because you got to think about what are your future trips going to look like, and
I know, and I'm thinking,
too,
like, because
right?
I'm gonna have Emily in college. How often is Emily gonna go? But like, there's 2 potential trips she's already going on. So like, times 3 for those annual passes is rough. And then there's families doing times 4, times 5. Oh man, I
Right.
don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking about. I go, family of 4 now. I'm looking at $2,800. To go 4 or 5 days to the park. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That is kind of wild when you say that out loud like that. But it's
Right,
fun. I mean, but
exactly.
you know what? We still have fun, right? We still go there. We bring the fun. We have a great time, make all these memories, and then we talk about them on the podcast and all that. So like, you look back at it and you're kind of like, yeah, it was worth it, right? Like we always say that, don't we?
We do. And you know what? Some of the most fun times of my life, the last, we've been going now regularly for 24 years, I guess. So, some of the most fun times, right? And yeah, well, back in my day, it was a lot cheaper. Well, everything's gotten more expensive. I get that. I'm not trying to be that guy. But and we'll have a good time. October's going to be great. It'll be a fantastic trip. I know that, and we have to run, unfortunately. But it'll still be fun.
And what's funny about it, Wade, is that you're talking about like the waiting in line for rides, and just being there available to do the attractions. But some of our memories that we look back on are like hanging out La Cava, looking at the ice ball or whatever, or just playing cards in Sunset Boulevard, which you could do anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, it's just our place. It's just what makes us happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, having a meal, having a snack, a drink. You're exactly right. It's a lot of fun, and that's, you guys have said it many times. Sometimes that's the most fun, right? You're there doing that. Yeah, the attractions are great. I would never wait in line 3 hours for anything. I wouldn't wait 2 hours. I probably would balk at an hour, unless it was like, hey, we're all going to stand in line for Guardians. Okay, it's an hour. I'll give that a shot. But I want to be standing
with a bigger group. Like, it can be a little different, right? But it's a long time to stand. Like you were saying, like, it's hard to just.
It is.
I think standing is the worst part. Like, I can walk. I mean, we do marathons every year, Wade. We can do this, but like just standing in a line, it's like one of the hardest things to do, especially if it's not moving. It kills you.
Exactly. So, but it is. But you know what? Being there with friends, family members is a blast, and that's what's, as those of us that have been, and people listening to the podcast, there have been many times. But not everybody. I'm sure there's people listening to the podcast tonight and other times that are like, we've been once, we want to go again, or maybe not even been at all, or they want to take family members. And so they want to make it the best trip that they can. So, and that's why they have Mike to book their vacation for them.
I appreciate that.
And it's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
We might be scared of these prices a little bit, but what we were just saying, like, we have so much fun when we go and we have great memories, but man, like it's getting a little more expensive, but maybe
It is for
maybe
sure.
we'll see
It
some
is
better
for
things
sure.
in
But
return.
well, I don't want to take up the whole time on the show here tonight, but I was confused when my phone popped up and said BOGP
I know.
is live. I'm like,
opportunity on a Wednesday night.
Wednesday?
We loved it. We had a chance to open up the lines and took it. So we appreciate you calling in. You stay warm out there, man. I know it's freezing. So take care of yourself.
Well, good thing is I walked into the gym and now my face is not frozen anymore, so I can move my move my mouth a little easier, my jaw. It was cold though. A 1 mile walk is about all I can take with nothing over my face.
Well, thank goodness
But
for that.
anyway, yeah.
Well, hey, we got to run into each other soon. We've missed meeting up, so we'll have to get down to Walt Disney World all at the same time here shortly.
I know we have. You guys talking about a cruise makes me go, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yes, it would.
So who knows?
July 6th.
We'd have a lot of fun.
Yes, we would.
So,
all right, you take care.
Yeah,
Tell the
sure.
family we said hello and have a good workout.
Stay warm, Wade. We'll see you soon, buddy.
All right, see ya.
Sounds good. Okay,
all
thanks,
right.
guys. Take care. All right, bye.
All right. Let me hit that. All right, Scott. Well, I think that's going to about do it for tonight's show because it's about time
It was an impromptu show.
Yeah, a little impromptu show there on a Monday. But yeah, I mean, Wade brings up some great points. I mean, it is fun, but it is always worth it. And, Michelle brings up a great point too. I think Disney's going to have to kind of force their hand with Epic Universe this summer. They might have to, add things that are value adds. And I think, extra magic hours coming back, that'd be a value add. It's something that's not hard to do. It's already there.
Something for those on-site guests. I will still argue staying on site is the best. I mean, it's so convenient. I love the theming of the resorts. I mean, the resorts are actually my favorite part now of a Walt Disney World trip, but it'd be nice to see some little extra added perks, some longer park hours, like we were just talking with Wade, would be nice.
Yeah, because those are some of the best days. I mean, we had
God,
so much fun, especially those night ones, like the Magic Kingdom. Oh,
yeah,
so fun. All right, we're going to jump out of here, and don't forget, we haven't mentioned this enough. We're going to have our live call-in show from Give Kids the World on Saturday, March 8th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'd love you to tune in and make your donation for Give Kids the World. You can also bid on auction items. We're going to have a ton of auction items, stuff from Disney, stuff from Give Kids the World, all kinds of collectibles. But dude, just put on your calendar, Saturday, March 8th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be on the air for 6 hours taking your calls. It's going to be a ton of fun. So plan on that in a couple of weeks. We can't do it without you to support the great folks down at Give Kids the World. So plan on that. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air. Thank you so, so very much for that. And you can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. You can follow me on the social media at BeOurGuestMike, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. You can follow Scott at Epscott, EPSCOT, but more importantly, go check out his YouTube channel, Must See Adventures on YouTube. Scott, what's going on over there?
Just going to be our Thanksgiving trip, our first day. Just hanging out at Fort Wilderness, going to check out Magic Kingdom, have Thanksgiving dinner. It's going to be a fun episode of Walt Disney World.
Make sure to like and subscribe and share while you're watching. Hit the share button so other folks can find it as well. All right. And we'll have a live call-in show this Sunday night because we missed it last Sunday night because of Mallory's cheer, but we'll be back this Sunday night live to talk to you guys. So I'll put that on the schedule as well. We'll have the shows this week. All right. Oh, and join us in the clubhouse, 24/7, 365, live chat, lots of fun. And we're going to have a ton of fun over there. We've got a lot of new people join us in the clubhouse, and it's been just a blast. So come on over.
So much fun. I love checking in on that. It's crazy on days where you've been busy working and all that. I'm so far behind, but I just smile when I read all the updates, which I will be doing tonight because I haven't checked into at all today.
It's, memes, GIFs, sports the Sports Center channel is wild. I mean, if you want to get into some detailed college sports analytics with Jason and Paul and everybody, I mean, it's wild.
There's so many
smart.
It's unbelievable to me, how many people have their own draft charts for college football rankings and all that. I don't I'm very, very casual sports fan compared to this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like a Disney Discord is probably one of the hottest like sports channels on the internet. Like totally dark web kind of stuff. Like if you want the best like running back like analytics on the web, it's probably in our Discord channel for like a Disney podcast. It's wild.
It's so wild.
I was thinking that the other day. I'm like, oh my God, like ESPN should break into our chat. You know, I'm like, it's right here. Like for the NFL
Just made me think
scouts.
of Moose. Like some Moose always does like a mock draft, and I was like, wow, like that's pretty cool. Like he's like just a casual, cool guy like me does this mock draft, and then going to the Discord, and there's like 50 guys that do mock drafts. I'm like, oh, maybe this is a regular thing.
Like, I don't know. This is
So,
insane. This is insane.
Yeah.
It's a Discord for Disney chat. Like, dude, this is like next level analytics right there in the Sports Center channel. Anyway, and we have, you know, all the Disney channels, Disney Cruise Line, Forum Parks, everything. So come on over, Disney Dining, all that stuff. So come on over. It's BRGuestPodcast.com/clubhouse. All right, we're getting out of here. We'll see you on Wednesday with listener questions. You have a question, Mike at BRGuestPodcast.com. Drop it on the Discord. You know, it is anywhere you like, or just join us live as we record. Drop it in the chat. So for Scott, I'm Mike. Wish you a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.